Now is probably one of the best times to be focused on blue chip tokenization projects, and I am going to be talking to you guys today actually about Hbar, Nxra, Stellar, and even Xrp. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hopefully by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Back in the beginning of June, there was actually a congressional meeting, and it was titled How Tokenization of Real-World Assets Will Facilitate Efficient Markets. And I thought that this was very interesting because it's also regarding the next generation infrastructure, right? As you guys do see here. And if we're thinking about that, and as we do look at what's going to be tapped in, we already know that blockchains or even DLT is the focus point. So it's crazy that we have these types of discussions happening, even on congressional levels now, because it proves to us what's happening behind the scenes. It proves to us what's coming as well. And for a lot of people out there, they're going to be surprised that they had the opportunity to actually invest in this type of technology. It's kind of like the internet, right? Like, how many people out there were really looking at the internet and really investing to the technology behind it? It's a very small percentage, right? And now we have this opportunity of a lifetime, because in my opinion, as we look at tokenization, as we look at DLT and blockchain, it is so much bigger than just the internet. It is going to reshape everything around us. And so many people are asleep at the worst time in history, technically, because of how big this technology will be. So if you're focused up right now, if you're watching these types of videos, I got to give you a big +1, because it is a very substantial feat. And we're very small in terms of the percentage actually seeing this and realizing how big this actually is. The alt season time bomb is ticking, and now is the best time to go and get your free access to 30 secret crypto gems that I personally have researched completely for you so that you can save a ton of time and make a ton of money. The link down in the description below takes you guys to this page where you can claim your free access instantly right now, free of charge. It's completely free. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Go and click the link down in the description below, as well as in the comments below, to get access now. Now, outside of that, over here, the DTCC actually testified to Congress. As you guys actually look at this, I believe that, all right, so that's actually not giving us all the names here, but I do know that the DTCC was here, Securitize was there, and a few other ones, but the DTCC did testify. And this was on opportunities to advance financial markets with digital securities and tokenization services. Just to give you guys a perspective on how big of an opportunity we have in front of us, right? This is one name, the DTCC. And as we look down here, right, in 2023, the DTCC subsidiaries processed securities transactions valued at $3 quadrillion. And its depository subsidiary provided custody and asset servicing for securities issued from over 150 countries and territories valued at $85 trillion. Like, we're talking about $3 quadrillion, right? I mean, even the $85 trillion, if we brought that up into conversation with someone, they would be like, wow, that is a ridiculous amount of money. But when you bring in the idea of $1 quadrillion, let alone three, it's like, all right, now we have something much bigger than I ever thought possible, because it's $3 quadrillion. I mean, most people can't wrap their mind around 1 trillion, let alone 1 quadrillion. So think about how big this opportunity is if this is just one name moving $3 quadrillion. Then we also have to look at all of these other transactions happening around the world. We have to look at how big this could very well really kind of morph into, because again, as we do start to see things tokenized, it's a snowball effect. Now you have things moving 24/7, 365. It's all on chain. It's verifiable. Like, things are going to move rapidly. Now, as we do think about that, right, let's look at some of the big names. Let's look at, for an example, Hedera with Archix, or how about just Archix alone, because they have been moving heavily with Hedera, with Ethereum, even now with Ripple and Xrp as well. Archix is becoming a blue chip, and the names that they are handpicking are blue chips within the space. So as I do look at that, I look at Hedera, I look at Xrp with what Ripple is doing, because remember that this is all based around the Xrp ledger, right? So I look at the Xrp ledger, I look at Xrp, I look at Hedera. Technically, yes, Ethereum is a big one, but Ethereum already is at a massive valuation. So I'm just avoiding, talking about Ethereum because I want you guys to make a ton of money. And, outside of Ethereum, we know Ethereum is not efficient enough for transactional flows at scale. And in my opinion, I just don't think that Ethereum is going to be successful long term like these other chains like Hedera or even the XRP Ledger. But also, as we do look at Hedera, let's look at Toko as well. Toko has a ton of use cases under its belt, like, for example, financial services. And by the way, yes, this is all based around DLT and tokenization built out on Hedera. And this is by DLA Piper, one of the actual, largest law firms out there. But we have financial services, we have real estate, we also have legal tech. Like, these are great use cases for tokenization that you probably wouldn't even think about. I mean, yes, real estate and financial use cases, 100% easy. But then we have legal tech. And by the way, this is with DLA Piper, which is one of the largest law firms out there. So this is great use of the technology. And remember, it's all based around Hedera. And this goes all the way back to 2020. Guys, this is like, Hedera's not trying to catch up to everyone and say like, oh, like, let's ride the RWA, storm. Like, no. Like, they want to be a part of this revolution. They have been being a part of this revolution since going all the way back to 2020 and prior. And DLA Piper is a big player within this. And they are an absolute giant around the world. And as we think about this, this solidified Hedera's future in the tokenization revolution. And with the technology behind Hedera, it really sets the pace for it to become a big blue chip within tokenization. Now, what about Nxra? Because Nxra is getting overlooked at a time where I do think that everyone should be looking into it. And now with the recent turmoil in the market, I do think that's providing us with greater entries. Nxra is an absolute massive infrastructure for the digital, financial, and even real world asset space. As we do look at the technology behind this, this has so much happening. They have the tokenization name here in terms of like Evergone, for example, which you guys can read about, right? Tokenize anything, wrap everything. We have 25 plus clients, 100 plus partnerships, 50 trillion plus tokenized assets by 2030 is their projected forecast. And this is a great application. It's a great platform. And it really does tie back to Nxra. But then you also have DeFi, you have developers, ecosystem builders. Like, Nxra is an absolute powerhouse that's kind of hidden right now. And it's because they used to be Alliance Block. Then there was a big issue. There was something, I think it was like a bridge. It got exploited. And then from there, they were just like, all right, screw this. We'd rather improve and build upon this. So they flipped and they got rid of Alliance Block and they, forged a path with Nxra, which is I think is way better actually. But outside of this, right? They have an absolute incredible infrastructure now. And also outside of that, just recently, we saw the CEO and founder at the European Commission. This was an excellent day at the EU Commission. My most important take, institutions are deeper into tokenization than what we think or might think. And there is a huge potential on financial asset tokenization. However, we need more clarity in regulations. Some jurisdictions are most advanced than others. Big opportunities for Nxra network. I will be providing deeper insight in the next few days. Now, remember that Nxra actually got invited to this, or I should say Rashid did. If we actually go over here, I'm thrilled to share that I've been invited to participate in the tokenization workshop at the EU Commission as a core participant in discussions on DLT interoperability and standardization. And we know that Nxra is at the forefront of standardization efforts, but we also know that Nxra has been, around the tokenization space, in my opinion, planning heavily. And there is a lot of projects already around the Nxra ecosystem that are focused on tokenization endeavors as well. For example, just recently, Paddox or Padix, however you want to pronounce this, Nxra Finance and Paddox ecosystem are joining forces to explore the vast $16 trillion on-chain asset tokenization market, leveraging, of course, Nxra Finance's robust RWA tokenization infrastructure, Nxra ID for compliant tokenized finance, which is a big thing, right? Like, as we do look at regulations hitting this space, compliant infrastructure is a big deal, and Nxra is already ahead of the game. And Paddox's deep expertise in asset tokenization, the organizations are poised to revolutionize how businesses digitize and trade assets. And already, by the way, Paddox is uniquely positioned to drive the region's digital transformation of asset management in Latin America, a region with over 670 plus million people and a $5.5 trillion GDP. Paddox's ecosystem includes the Paddox Network, Layer 2 blockchain, and the C Paddox Exchange for central bank digital currency trading. This partnership is huge, and I think that it really kind of solidifies where Nxra is headed in the RWA space. A lot of their partnerships are crucial for the whole multi-chain future as well. Remember, this is not about competition or picking out what is the best one. It's about, how are we going to see this vision realized in? And it's all through collaboration. So I love to see Nxra really kind of collaborating and partnering with some of these great ecosystem players like Paddix, for an example. Now, also outside of that, Galileo protocol, another great one that is within the Nxra ecosystem, also doing some great things. We have Nxra alongside Visa, FTI Global, and INX Group, is one of the founding partners of the vertical driving blockchain innovation and offering startups a pathway from initial fundraising to becoming a global industry leader. And this is all through plug and play TCs, Crypto and Digital Assets Accelerator Program. And again, this does play a role within Nxra and even RLBT, which is more so the it's a token that you get for staking Nxra on funders. And this actually gets you exclusive access to launches like Galileo. And this is all through the Funders program, which is Nxra's fully decentralized peer-to-peer funding protocol, offering projects in AI, DePIN, RWA, and more to compliantly raise capital and launch their tokens, which I think is a great thing, especially with regulations on the cusp of becoming a reality. Now, also remember that Alliance Block, which was the original project, which this is still in effect, is a partner of the London Stock Exchange. Here you guys have the breakdown of Alliance Block. Again, like I said, it's morphed into Nxra. And remember that this is a $100 trillion securities market that they are on the path to disrupting. And this is all through their cross-border regulatory compliance rule engine, compliant P2P and NFT protocol, on-chain and off-chain investment data API, DeFi investment terminal, derivatives and structured product pricing engine, and risk analytics, data tunnel, and trustless KYC and AML with identity verification, which almost all of this is still in place under, of course, even the new Nxra infrastructure. Now, beyond that, let's talk about Stellar, because Stellar definitely needs to be mentioned. Here we have tokenization is taking off. Make no mistake, Stellar is the network institutions are turning to bring real world assets to the masses. And this is what they said back in February. Check it out.
In 2023, tokenization on the network reached new heights, with Stellar gaining recognition as a leader. You don't have to take our word for it. Funds managed by institutional players, including Franklin Templeton, WisdomTree, Bitbon, ABN AMRO, which represent tokenized real-world assets like securities, fiat currencies, gold, and more, reached a total market cap of over $340 million last year. Messari stated in its latest crypto thesis that funds on Stellar have grown to be the large plurality of tokenized treasuries and the largest liquid instruments that any Wall Street firm have actually offered on-chain, including stablecoins. Stellar was designed for asset tokenization way back when, and we've seen its features make it an easy choice for issuers to build on and take their assets to market. Those features include like the clawback functionality and other compliance features that regulated entities are going to have to leverage. But I also want to highlight that further to SDF's mission, tokenization on Stellar is providing financial access to new customers in new markets in a new way. People who previously were not able to leverage these tools, they now can. This is what our work is all about. With tokenization, the Stellar network strengths and SDF's mission have converged and taken hold in the real world. Tokenization may have now become a buzzworthy thing because institutional interest and fund sizes are growing and regulatory changes are making room for new opportunities. But once we really start to recognize who these financial tools are reaching that were previously excluded, and we're hoping that we see a lot more of that, what it will do for them, and what unforeseen innovations are unlocked, more people will understand that it's a game changer.
Now, talking about that, as we really kind of fast forward to where we are at now, let's go over here to tokenized treasuries, for an example. If we actually look at this, Stellar is still dominating at almost $346 million worth of TVL, which is not something to just write off and say, oh, that's nothing, because as we look at it, it's the second largest network in the tokenized treasury space. Beyond that, though, if we go over here to Stellar's network stats, as of Q1 of 2024, there's been over $533 million worth of tokenized real-world assets on the network, 1.6 billion in relevant real-world asset transaction volume in Q1 of 2024, and over 125 million total payments. Like I said, Stellar is an absolute giant in the tokenization space, and not enough people are actually focused on Stellar either. which I find crazy. Now, last but not least, as we do look at XRP and the XRP ledger, like I said, Archix is a big one, but also remember, we have Zonix with Ripple to bring multi-asset tokenization onto the XRP ledger, which is also a big deal. But beyond that, we also know that this is all a part of the tokenized economy by Ripple, which is a 3-part. And all of this breaks down their institutional focus when it comes to tokenization endeavors and how this could very well bring in the promise of delivering the internet of value. And remember that this has XRP and the XRP ledger at the center point for it. And as we really look at the revolution of tokenization, it's already starting. And we know that Ripple, it has been really expanding on this front through the XRP ledger, even with Zonix, with Archix, and then also with, I believe it's Axelar as well. So think about how the stage is set for some of these blue chips like XRP, Xlm, Nxra, and even Hbar to absolutely lead the way for the entire tokenized economy to become a reality. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.